And today's pretty nice. It's a little bit of chill, but, nothing like a good day at the ballpark. But all of our spring sports, like you said, it's inconvenient in a way because we're spread all over the city. But I am appreciative of all the hard work that goes by our Parks and Rec department and maintenance department of the city of Bristol to get our fields in such good condition, and we're lucky to have the facilities we have. One group I wanted to mention you don't see a lot about it, and it's hard to broadcast on the radio, but we have four new tennis courts at Virginia High School right there close to our track, and both boys and girls tennis teams are working really hard as well to have a good season. The weather's impacted their schedule early, but I think they're going to be okay later on, and certainly just a fun time of year. It keeps you hopping, keeps you moving, and got stuff all over the town. But we're not that far apart from here to Sugar Hollow, which is probably the two furthest points, and we certainly wish all of our spring sports well, and go Bearcats.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to be here for baseball season. I'll be here till like August, so if you ever want to come with the Pirates, I'll be here too. So it's going to be a long stretch. I better get comfortable here. I've already got everything still in place from last year. So.
Yeah, it looks like you've kind of made yourself a little nook here, so it's good. So
7-8-9 due up for Licking Valley, 11-4. Bearcats lead it. Hard ground ball up the middle and a base hit for McClung, his first hit of the afternoon, and the 7th hit for the Panthers tonight. So a leadoff single against Griffith. That's the second hit he's allowed. So we've seen both the starting pitcher from the first two games get action today, and both of them pitching well today. And Coach Daniels talked about it in the open. Now, you didn't get to hear it, but talked about you play in the biggest ballpark in Southwest Virginia, guys. You're not going to give up too many home runs. If you want to throw it right down the middle, you can. And most of them are going to hang up in the air anyway. So
they do, and and we're fortunate. We got some pretty good speed and some experience in the outfield, so those guys do a pretty good job of tracking it. And that's kind of been my philosophy. Put it in play. Don't issue a lot of walks. Don't beat yourselves, and just kind of let your defense do the work behind you.
We do have a shout-out inning. Of course, Andrea Carroll, Lane Carroll's mother, listening in tonight. It's a beautiful day for a ball game. Love being able to listen to the game. So
yeah, that's great. And, one of our biggest supporters, we appreciate, the Carroll family is a great family, and we're fortunate at Virginia High to have many great families, and always appreciate their support and effort.
Yeah, Lane, of course, going to UNC Asheville to play soccer, continue his career as accounts 2-2. Of course, you can catch them over there playing soccer. When do they play again?
It's right after break. We travel to White Top Park to play Kachia, and I want to say it's April 10th. I don't have my phone. My phone's occupying my two little girls in the booth next door, so but I believe it's April 10th.
They don't know what goes into you getting to come on for just for like an inning.
No, but they're great. I love bringing them with me. I love them being around, and it gives me an opportunity to spend a lot of time with them that I would be away from them.
3-2 count to Ty Green. Nobody out runner at first base. That is McClung after the leadoff single. Griffith pitches inside, called strike 3, looking. And Griffith has 4 strikeouts in just 1 1/3 innings pitched to this point. So every out he's gotten to this point in the ball game, he's gotten by way of a strikeout, and all of them have been strikeout looking. To this point is now the number 9 hitter, the freshman Devin McConnell, will come to the plate. Second baseman for him. He is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. I was looking in the newspaper for players, and I found the Newark website, and it said it was subscription on my computer, but I was able to look at the preview online on my phone for free. So I got a couple of the guys' grades way.
That's pretty good. I mean, I was just looking at all the work. Dylan, we've talked about it a lot, but, really appreciate what you guys do. And even give a shout-out to Mark, even though he's not here. The research that goes in behind it.
Line drive tailing into right field, into the gap, and a single. Going from first to third on the hit is McClung. Single for McConnell. He has 2 hits tonight, the freshman. Second baseman for Licking Valley. When you get a team like this kind of out of our area, it's kind of tough to figure out some things on, so I found some tidbits about where they're from. And
I was reading that during the break there. I was like, I learned a few things about
Wayne Newton is from there.
Yeah, I know. So
anybody who likes a National Lampoon Vegas Vacation, I think Wayne Newton made an appearance on it. Runners on the corners with 1 out. and a fresh count to the leadoff man, Gunnar Carpenter, who lines one into left field right at John Clifton. Clifton will make the grab. Trying to tag from third is McClung. The throw in is on the money of the cutoff man. They won't test it. They'll hold at first and third. An F7 in the scorebook, and Dylan Carr will come to the plate. So Carpenter on the day now is 1 for 4. We are again in the top of the or bottom of the 6th inning. Cats leading 11-4. I'll get over the fact that the Bearcats are the road team at some point.
Tournament times can sometimes mess you up. It's happened a few times in basketball, and I'd catch myself looking at the board, saying, "No, wait, where went?" No,
well, it's also double confusing because it says guest on top and Bearcats at the bottom.
On the bottom,
so it's called strike to Carr, and it's 0-1. So yeah, Licking Valley is definitely a unique place. As there's strike 3 looking inside. It's 0-2. It's also, I looked online, you see on Facebook, you see like tourist traps and like sights to see in different places. And it actually is Ohio. There's actually like a shopping basket in this town or in this county, Licking County in Ohio. It looks like a bread basket. It's like the size, it's like a office building for a company, but it's the size of a bread basket.
There you go.
It's there too. So if you want to go by there, go to Newark. As there's strike 3 looking, and another strikeout for Griffith. He's got 5 now on the afternoon. He's really looking sharp as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Cats lead 11-4. Again, we're joined by Brad Harper, the athletic director and assistant principal for Virginia High School. And all right, West Virginia, we both pull for West Virginia in basketball. Got ousted in the Sweet 16. Played a heck of a ball game.
They did. Just kind of run into a better team that night. They played well. I will not give my true feelings. I'll try to remain somewhat diplomatic, but
I feel like the game was officiated a different way in the second half. But
yeah,
we're not paid by West Virginia.
There you go. So there you go. But
they hung with a good team, and Villanova's the favorite by far to win it out of these final 4 teams. I
would think it just happened, the luck of the draw or unlucky of the draw. But that's that's what makes March Madness what it is. And tonight, the final 4 tonight should be interesting. So we'll see what happens.
You got finishing it out?
Nah, I don't know. Once West Virginia, I'll watch
you
it.
Quit after West Virginia?
I'll still watch it, but I don't have a favorite or don't even have a pick. I'm not that loyal to
the soft spot for Loyola Chicago after
sister. I was going to say, how could you not cheer for that story? I was talking to my brother earlier on the phone, and we're saying I'm not sure that they're one of the 4 best teams in the country, but however they've been the best in their bracket. Their mini pod each of the past 2 weekends, and so they only need to do that one more weekend. But it'll be interesting. I really like John Beeline and Michigan, and Kansas being a Big 12 team, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Kansas is, of course, we're pretty familiar with Kansas. West Virginia played them 3 times in the regular season. As for the Cats, it is 5, 6, or 6, 7, and 8. Anderson will be at the plate. Mouse on deck, and Michael Bradley in the hole for the Cats. As Anderson takes the first pitch for a strike, it's 0-1.
Well, Dylan, my natives over here next door are getting restless, so I'm going to go say you and your family have a happy Easter.
Right,
always good to join you, and go Bearcats.
All right, thank you, Mr. Harper, for joining us. We always enjoy talking to Mr. Harper and just getting an idea of everything going on with Virginia High athletics. As that one's fouled off, it's 0-2 to Tyler Anderson. Had to get his thoughts there on the West Virginia, on if the Mountaineers are on his take on the Mountaineers game. He's a big West Virginia fan. Counts 0-2, misses inside to Anderson, and it's 1-2. That is still Martinez on the mound for Licking Valley. He's went 1 inning to this point, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs in his 1 inning of work. None of them were earned, though. This is a pop-up on the infield off to the right side of the bag, or off to the right side of the mound. Coming up to make the grab is Logan Bragg, the first baseman. There's a pop out to first for out number 1 as Anderson is retired. And that will bring up Mouse, Jared Mouse, who
number 21, Jared Mouse.
is 1 for 3. He was pinch hit for in the 5th by John Malumba. Malumba struck out swinging. The freshman for the Cats. Bearcats lead it 11-4 on 13 hits, 2 errors. Licking Valley has 4 runs, 8 hits, and 5 errors as a team. As pitch missed up and away to Mouse. Again, we're in the final inning here, top of the 7th. From Boyce Cox Field, the final game of this week for each of these teams. There's a breaking pitch right down the middle taken, and it's 1-1. Getting Newark will have to hit the road and head back up north to Ohio, up near Columbus, east of Columbus. That one's looked at for strike 2, and it's 1-2. It'll take them about 6 hours to get there. But again, they've had a big week. They've played a lot of baseball this week. Here's a 1-2, misses outside, 2-2. Again, the Bearcats will be back in action next week in Myrtle Beach, so we will not be broadcasting any of those. I wish we were, but we aren't. That will be April 6th and the 7th in the Cal Ripken tournament, as that one's fouled off. Count still even at 2-2 to Moles. Michael Bradley waits on deck. Again, our next broadcast will be on the let's check that date real quick for you. It'll be on the April 11th against Richlands. There's strike 3 looking, and 2 outs in the inning as Mouse goes down. It's 2 strikeouts for Martinez, as now Michael Bradley comes to the plate. We've seen good pitching this afternoon once the guys have settled down, especially on the Virginia High side of things. But here and there, these guys are showing bright spots for Licking Valley. It's just been one of those games for them where untimely errors and the Cats just cashing in offensively. It was one of those things where you felt like this team was a ticking time bomb as far as getting ready to get on the board offensively. And today they've just kind of unleashed everything that they've pinned up over the first 2 games. This is a pop-up towards second. McConnell misplays it, and it'll be an E4. Looked like he was waiting on Bragg to call him off. But McConnell hit off the end of his glove, and that is the 6th error of the afternoon for the Panthers. It looked like it was going to be out number 3 of the inning. Instead, Bradley's at first after the error. Now Jamie Lathrop will come to the plate. Lathrop walked, had a bunt single, and he struck out twice. He's in the right-handed batter's box. The third baseman, White, is up on the grass as they'll throw over to first. Back safely is Bradley. Coach Daniels sending signs over to first. And Coach Carlos Lee over there on the other side at first base is the first base coach for the Cats. Long time, a well-known person here at Virginia High who's a standout athlete in his playing days, as that one's fouled off down the left field line. It's 0-1 to Jamie Lathrop. Lathrop, 5 at-bats in the game for him. The Bearcats have not had an inning where they've sent less than, actually the shortest inning I think the Bearcats have had was the first inning. And they sent 6 to the plate. 2 outs, and Lathrop at the plate, runner at first, as this one's fouled off the end of the bat of Lathrop, and we'll do it again, 0-2. And we've seen in the last few innings that after 3 innings of no errors that Licking Valley has had 6 in the last 4 frames, counting this one here in the 7th. Again, Virginia has got a score on the board in every inning so far except for the 7th inning. This one's hit into right field, coming over is Green, and he'll make the catch for out number 3, and the Cats will stay off the board in the 7th. Good pitching there by Martinez in his 2nd inning of work. Doesn't allow a hit that inning. As it goes, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. As we head to the final half inning, Virginia High leads 11-4, as Licking Valley will send 3, 4, and 5. Wisner, Bragg, and White when we get back here on Bearcat Radio, the flagship station of Virginia High Athletics.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well,